Nobody will forget the night Tottenham Hotspur lifted the 2025 Europa Cup. Ange Postecoglou didn't just break the club's 17-year trophy drought, he reshaped the story of Spurs and put Australian coaching on the map. This win proved he could adapt, inspire, and win when it mattered most. Postecoglou's path to this moment wasn't smooth. He guided Tottenham through injury setbacks, tactical shifts, and the weight of Premier League disappointments. In the process, he earned a place in club history and raised the profile of Australian football worldwide. This victory was about more than a medal. It marked Tottenham's new belief, redeemed Postecoglou's philosophy, and showed what fearless leadership can do for a team and an entire sporting culture. Ange Postecoglou's second season promise, the road to European glory. Ange Postecoglou's work in his second year at Tottenham stands out as much for the journey as the destination. The transformation wasn't instant, and the Europa Cup win in 2025 capped off months of hardship, tough decisions, and renewed hope. By sticking to his philosophy and pushing through adversity, Postecoglou adapted what has become a clear pattern in his coaching career. Dramatic second-season breakthroughs. Turning Tottenham's fortunes around. Tottenham's situation in late 2024 looked grimmer than ever. The Premier League campaign had turned into a patchwork of narrow losses and battered confidence. The squad's injury list grew weekly, robbing Spurs of core players at critical times. Each defeat clawed away at belief among players and fans. A club known for passionate support found itself caught between bitter disappointment and heavy skepticism. 17 years without a trophy. Not since 2008 had Spurs lifted any silverware. The long drought weighed on the team like an anchor, mounting injuries. The medical updates told their own story. Week after week, another key player sidelined. Premier League setbacks. Tottenham racked up one of their worst runs in recent memory, with 21 losses, frustration building after each missed chance. Doubts off the pitch. Every press conference questioned Postecoglou's philosophy and whether he was the right man for the job. Yet, Postecoglou's strength came from his refusal to back down or to change his belief in attacking, expressive football. Unlike previous managers, he didn't close ranks or retreat into excuses. He faced both fan unrest and media pressure with directness and clarity, admitting when things weren't good enough, but never lowering expectations or vision. The impact? Training sessions grew fiercer, standards in the locker room soared, and the youngest players felt their time was coming. Supporters started to see a team that played with real intent. Even when results were shaky, ambition was never in doubt. By the time spring rolled around, the mood at Tottenham had shifted. A string of dogged European performances convinced even doubters that something different was brewing. The club's patience with Postecoglou was rewarded. An underdog run that built real belief and smashed through the memory of years without a trophy. Building a resilient and attacking squad. If there's a recurring theme in Ange Postecoglou's career, it's his ability to turn second seasons into triumphs. From South Melbourne to Brisbane, Yokohama, Celtic, and now Tottenham, Postecoglou's blueprint is clear. Focus on process in year 1, success in year 2. In Tottenham's second season under Ange, it was all about making this plan work in one of the toughest leagues in the world. Here's what shaped his squad's road to the Europa Cup. High-intensity pressing. Every Spurs player was tasked to close down opponents early, hassle in midfield, and never give up easy possession. Team fitness levels reached new heights, and even seasoned internationals bought into tireless pressing. Trust in youth. Injuries could have spelled disaster, but instead, they gave younger Spurs prospects a shot. Postecoglou kept his word. If younger players put in the work, they'd get minutes. Several established new careers this season. Mental strength. Losses and setbacks were met head-on. The staff designed special training routines for mental sharpness, and Ange shaped a group culture built around togetherness. Players were asked to step up, take responsibility, and push each other. Some of his key decisions acted as turning points. 1. Adapting formations for big matches. Prepared to shift between 4-3-3 and 4-2-3-1, Postecoglou showed tactical flexibility, steadying the squad when games got scrappy. 2. Targeted player recruitment. Every signing was chosen not just for skill, but the right attitude, a willingness to press, work, and buy into the system. 3. Setting the tone in the locker room. Postecoglou spent time with every squad member, from veterans to academy players, building trust and unity. 4. Transparency. He involved senior players in team talks and strategy sessions, turning the squad into stakeholders, not just passengers. The result wasn't always beautiful, but it was relentless. The team played with a shared hunger, unafraid to take risks, and unbowed by the lows that came their way. By the Europa Cup final, Tottenham looked nothing like the side haunted by disappointment just months earlier. This was a team forged by adversity and driven by a belief that the second season really could change everything. The triumph in Bilbao, a night that changed everything. Nothing bonds a club and its supporters like a win on a historic European night. The tension inside San Mamés was thick, every seat filled with hope and nerves, as Tottenham took on Manchester United in the Europa Cup final. Under lights in Bilbao, Ange Postecoglou led his squad with courage and conviction. His tactics and trusted players delivered a performance that will live long in the memory of all Spurs fans. From the tactical gambles to the wild celebrations, this was a night that truly changed everything for Tottenham and for Postecoglou's coaching legacy. Decisive tactics and standout players. Postecoglou is known for bold football, but in this final he mixed bravery with pragmatism. The game shifted when Brennan Johnson bundled in a scrappy finish in the 42nd minute. While many expected Ange to double down on attacking, he trusted his defensive core to see out the win. Key choices that decided the match included solid defensive organization. After Spurs took the lead, Mickey van de Ven and Christian Romero marshaled the back line with authority. They tracked United's strikers every step, making clearances and last-ditch tackles that brought the traveling fans to their feet. Inspired substitutions. Postecoglou showed trust in his bench, bringing on Yves Bissouma and Pierre-Emile Højbjerg to shore things up. These changes quieted United's attacking midfielders and helped Tottenham regain control when nerves threatened to creep in. Goalkeeping heroics. Guglielmo Vicario proved unbreakable between the posts. With 8 minutes added at the end, he leapt to deny Luke Shaw's header, one stop that will go down in club folklore. Brennan Johnson's breakthrough. Johnson's anticipation and hunger snatched the only goal after a ricochet, capitalizing on a rare United lapse. The finish was messy, but it was the moment the tide turned for Spurs. During relentless second-half pressure, Van de Ven's goal-line clearance from Rasmus Højlund's header kept Tottenham's slim lead intact. Each time United threatened, someone in white stepped up, defenders throwing bodies in the way, midfielders breaking up play, all orchestrated by Postecoglou's unflinching sideline presence. Standout performers included Brennan Johnson, match winner, tireless runner, and threat on the wing. Mickey van de Ven, consistent, focused, denied United's best chance. Guglielmo Vicario, safe hands all night, especially with his last gasp save. Pape Matar Sarr controlled the midfield with maturity beyond his years. The atmosphere turned feverish by the final whistle. United had never lost a European final, until Postecoglou's men rewrote history under the Bilbao lights. The post-match message: building for the future. While euphoria gripped players and supporters, Postecoglou's thoughts turned toward tomorrow. His press conference struck a balance between pride and warning, not to settle, but to raise expectations even higher. The main points from Ange's post-match comments emphasized unity and mentality. Postecoglou praised the squad's togetherness, calling this win the result of shared trust and a willingness to fight for each other, not just for the club. He highlighted how players were all in, from starters to youth prospects, stressed the importance of belief. Ange recognized the doubters and adversity faced throughout the season, but pointed to this night as proof of what happens when belief in the club's mission never fades. Set sights on the Champions League. With the Europa Cup win, Spurs secured a Champions League spot. Postecoglou was quick to remind everyone that qualifying is just the beginning, not the end. He called for investment, focus, and a desire to build on success rather than rest on it. Created a new set of standards. Postecoglou set out his vision for the next chapter. Tottenham is no longer satisfied with nearly. The new target is consistent silverware and competitive performances on Europe's grandest stage. Supporters saw something different in their manager's words: an insistence on higher standards, a demand for hunger and improvement, a signal that this wasn't an end, just the start of a new story. The celebrations poured onto the Bilbao streets, but inside the Tottenham camp, focus was already shifting. Postecoglou's legacy was growing, and the next challenge was clear. Take this spirit into the Champions League and prove the club belongs on the biggest nights, again and again. What Ange got, the rewards and impact after victory. Winning the 2025 Europa Cup smashed old ceilings for Ange Postecoglou and gave Tottenham fans a taste of something they'd forgotten: what it truly means to be winners. The aftershocks from Bilbao reverberated far beyond the parade route. For Ange, for Spurs, and for Australian football, this victory changed lives, careers, and sets new ambitions in motion. A legacy cemented in football history. Ange Postecoglou now stands among Europe's celebrated serial winners, a manager who reshapes teams and minds almost immediately. For years, skeptics questioned whether an Australian coach could succeed at the highest European level. Those whispers have been silenced. Second-season specialist, wherever Postecoglou goes, trophies tend to follow in year two. Spurs' Europa Cup win fits a now familiar pattern that began in Australia and continued in Japan and Scotland. This latest chapter is just the grandest example. Raising the bar for Australian managers. Postecoglou is now the first Australian coach to lift a major European trophy. His rise breaks barriers that kept Aussie coaches as underdogs, setting a marker for future coaches from outside Europe. Story of belief. His career is a rallying cry for all corners of the sport. From his migrant roots to overcoming setbacks, Ange never lost confidence in his principles. Each time he's trusted his philosophy, results have followed, including on the biggest nights at San Mamés. Recognition for what Postecoglou achieved in Bilbao won't end with a medal. He's earned a rare respect across football, a signal that ideas and ambition matter as much as pedigree. Spurs transformed, immediate benefits and future stakes. This victory altered Tottenham Hotspur's course in ways few nights ever have. The delivery of the Europa Cup win unleashed tangible rewards and raised the stakes for everything that comes next. Right away, Spurs Bank, Champions League qualification. The victory locks in a place at Europe's top table next season. This is not just good for pride. Champions League revenue can dwarf Europa earnings. Early projections peg the boost at around £100 million in added prize money, sponsorships, and matchday sales. Stronger global reputation. Tottenham, long derided for falling short when it matters, are now seen as winners. This flips both the club's international profile and their standing among elite clubs chasing talent. Boardroom confidence rebuilt. Success buys a coach time, but it also unleashes new ambition. The Tottenham board now sees a manager proven to win on the big stage, which encourages bolder squad investment and cements Postecoglou's voice in recruitment decisions. Raised expectations. With silverware back in the cabinet, standards shift. Supporters, players, and decision-makers start thinking bigger. Not just about a one-off, but sustained success. There are stakes, too. After winning, anything less feels like a letdown. That pressure forces growth or leaves managers exposed. Spurs' ability to match expectations off the pitch now becomes as important as the night in Bilbao. New doors opened and the road ahead. On a personal and professional level, the rewards for Ange Postecoglou keep coming, but they also set up new tests. UEFA Super Cup awaits. As Europa Cup winners, Spurs and Postecoglou are now set for a high-profile showdown with the Champions League winners. It's a chance to prove Tottenham's revival wasn't a one-night miracle. European ambitions amplified. The automatic Champions League spot means planning is already underway. Squad depth, tactical improvements, and transfer strategy step up. The stakes and scrutiny will only rise. Sustaining success under pressure. Nothing about elite football stands still. Now that Spurs have tasted silverware, there's no turning back. The pressure to keep delivering sits heavy, in Europe and at home. Questions about Postecoglou's long-term future won't disappear overnight. He's signaled unfinished business and a desire to build something lasting. But as interest in his style and results grows, speculation will always follow. For now, he's the face of a new era at Tottenham, a symbol of what fierce conviction, genuine leadership, and bold ambition can make possible. The transformation is clear. For Postecoglou, for Spurs, and for Australian football, the rewards after victory go far deeper than champagne in the dressing room. They open the door to even bigger dreams and even tougher battles up ahead. Ange Postecoglou's Europa Cup win kicked open the next chapter for Tottenham and for his own legacy. His bold choices and clear voice turned doubt into belief, replacing years of near misses with the sharp taste of victory. Those scenes in Bilbao, lifted arms, wild celebrations, the weight of the moment, marked a line in the sand. Now Tottenham faces a future where silverware is an expectation, not a hope. Postecoglou's record speaks loudest. Second-year success is no fluke, and his vision for this club is only just beginning. Spurs fans have waited far too long for nights like this. Stay tuned, because this story is not finished. Watch closely as Tottenham, under Ange, aims even higher. And thank you for sharing in this unforgettable chapter. If you felt the energy of this breakthrough, share your thoughts below or forward this story to a fellow fan. The next era starts now.